Hello, this is Mark Lynn, top ranked global cybersecurity thought leader and keynote speaker. Thank you for joining me today as I'll be talking to Joab Paiva from Intel about the Intel vPro platform. Let's get started. This recording is sponsored by Intel. Hi, Joab. Thanks for joining me today. I'm really looking forward to talking to you about the Intel vPro platform. But before we kick it off, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me here today. So I'm Joab Paiva. I work for Intel. I've been working for Intel in the past 16 years. My current role is a technical sales specialist.
Fantastic. Sounds like a lot of great experience. I'm really looking forward to talking about that today and hearing about some of your experiences and how that might help our audience. So thinking about that, how would you explain the Intel vPro platform to a business leader with limited tech skills?
Mark, that's a great question. So the first thing I want to briefly mention is, a vPro is a platform, and it's not a processor. So platform means a combination of hardware that lives inside your notebook or a desktop, right? And the combination of those hardware with a software layer, right, will create a platform, a solution that is truly built for business. So in other words, vPro is a solution that Intel developed. Intel, create the specification and give to our OEMs in order to create a solution that it has a goal, it has a target, it has a meaning, that is to address business challenges and business usage model.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's it's funny. You're seeing pretty much everybody starting to move to platforms, right? Meaning the customers are looking for something on a platform where they can get more abilities, and more capabilities, and more benefits versus having a whole bunch of things separate, trying to get them to work together. So, thinking about the Intel vPro platform and what you just described, what are the three primary benefits that the customers would see from utilizing the vPro platform?
The platform needs to be able to provide, the best performance for that usage model, for this business usage model. The other key feature of the vPro platform is a hardware foundation in terms of security. So it's security hardware foundation, and this hardware foundation helps to secure the entire platform from, BIOS, firmware, operation system, and all the applications. And the third big pillar, if you will, it's the remote management capabilities, which, that's what we're living today. I'm recording this from home, right? So I think that's our new reality. And vPro platform allows IT and allows, the users, right, to have a more a way to manage those devices, right? To troubleshoot, decrease the downtime, right? And doing all of these remotely. So those are the three biggest features of vPro platform.
Yeah, those are three really strong benefits. And they're obviously they're especially important given the work from home movement. So how does Intel's vPro platform improve an organization's endpoint capabilities, both from security and efficiency standpoint?
On a security point of view, Mark, for Intel, for vPro platform, it's all about providing this foundation. It is, and the foundation for us comes from the hardware, right? It's the hardware that helps to secure the entire stack. When I say stack, means the BIOS, firmware, everything that will enable your operation system to start, and then your operation system will enable your applications to start. So if you have a secure foundation, right, it will help you secure the entire stack. And there are a few features on the vPro platform in terms of security that helps perhaps to prevent threats or issues that your operation system or your security software, antivirus or any security software cannot detect because it is not even loaded in memory. It's not even up and running, right? What we call below the OS. And I think this is, one of the powerful features of the vPro platform to provide this foundation. Then, in terms of efficiency, we can discuss efficiency more than it can be, power efficiency or also user productivity. But in terms of user productivity, Mark, there are a few things that the vPro platform will help. First is if you have a more secure device, okay, you have less chance to be attacked by a ransomware or a crypto mining or things like that. On the other hand, having a device or a feature where IT will be able to manage that device, even if there is no operation system or blue screen, repeated blue screen, right? So if IT can connect that device remotely and understand what's going on, as well as apply a fix and recover that device, that you can also translate into efficiency, right? You can translate that into uptime for the user. And to be honest, Mark, I really like to associate that feature, the remote management capabilities, to reduce office stress. Right? You're working from home. Now you're juggling with different things inside your home and work, and then your computer is broken. You don't know how to explain that to your IT department. You cannot open a ticket online, so a lot of stress. And having this capability, where IT will connect to the device, and you're having a blue screen because we tried to push a Wi-Fi driver and it was the wrong Wi-Fi driver. It just helps to reduce that stress level, and I think we all much needed that.
Yeah, I tell you, Joe, I mean, that never happens, right? I'm never the support for my family with their PCs. Having said that, because that's a strong capability, right? What would be the business benefits to having a security posture, that incorporates both software-based security and hardware-based security, especially since we think about all the people working from home as you were describing?
Yeah, the secured posture, I think it's fundamental, right? The hardware itself, the vPro platform will help securing the foundation, securing the entire stack. But businesses they do have to have what we call a plan B, right? Because that not 100% of the hardware, the software is secure, and we cannot even predict what's going to be the next attack or threat. The security posture for Intel is, we are providing a strong, secure device that will help the entire device from hardware all the way to software, and as well as what I call Plan B. And the Plan B is a feature, a tool for IT to recover that device, or actually before recovering that device, to isolate that device out of the network, to avoid the threats or the virus to spread out, right? Isolate that and then recover. So the security, cycle for us from the hardware all the way to the recovery, and this is, a few capabilities that the vPro platform will help IT professionals to truly implement this Plan B in order to have a more secure, not only device, but to have more secure, environment.
Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. So, so obviously there's a great benefit to having both a hardware and a software-based security piece working together.
Correct. And that's another point. The hardware or Intel, we have what we call our teams that work with the ecosystem, right? Ecosystem players, so ISVs, independent software vendors. And that's where the hardware will help the software. There's one thing that I think it's also a key benefit of the vPro platform. That is, the hardware helps the software. In this case, it can be Microsoft Windows 10 or Windows 11, or a antivirus software or secured software. And the hardware provide, through APIs, access for those tools for operation system or for the secured software to the artificial intelligence, for instance, that lives in the hardware, or machine learning that lives in the hardware. So this integration that I mentioned about hardware and software for us, and for a security point of view, is quite important, because if your software, your security software, antivirus can tap and can use artificial intelligence to detect slight change on the device behavior and how the user is using the device, it helps to detect ransomware or crypto mining threats faster. Right. This is one thing that the hardware, again, the hardware as a foundation can help the software, and to improve how to detect issues and how to recover from the issues or the threats.
Yeah, you can see pretty quickly how this would help as we, as we kind of are in the post-remote work, but it's expanding where remote work is kind of a hybrid now, with some of the people going back to the office, and with, the attack surface growing so much, and then you see the amount of threat vectors multiplying. You can see where this would really help. But thinking about that broadly, how would this help some of the organizations come out of the current security threat environment with a more viable and secure IT strategy by utilizing the Intel vPro platform?
Yeah. So the vPro platform itself, it's one component of the entire solution. But we believe that vPro platform reduce, you said, the surface attacks, right? So this is one of the key things on a security point of view, that the vPro platform will help reduce the surface attacks by protecting BIOS, firmware, providing root of trust to the operation system, right? Those are the few things that will help. But the whole security strategy, right? Again, from the device to the software you're using, to how the software is using the hardware, right? As well as going to that, again, plan B, which is, recovering from a security, from a threat or a virus or things like that. So I think that's the key benefit of implementing a vPro into your environment, right? Having a more secure device.
So is there anything else you'd want to, that we haven't covered, as far as like what you think you would want to cover with the audience, that they may be able to glean some points out of?
Yes, there are a few things that I think I didn't brought here, and which is the stability. It's the fourth pillar, right? So I talked a little bit about performance, security, and remote management capabilities. But there's one big pillar that Intel invests a lot on the vPro platform that we call stability. And this is all about Intel testing different drivers, firmware versions, different operation system versions, in order to have a more stable platform. And having a more stable platform, it will definitely help IT to have less images or deploy less firmware updates out in the field that we know it's a nightmare. So this is one of the another key benefits of the vPro platform. It's the ability to Intel testing everything together, make sure this is stable, and helping the IT pros to decrease the number of things they need to do in the platform while in the field, right? So that's what we try to mitigate.
Well, it's a very interesting, very interesting stuff. Obviously, it can help you with security, with manageability, with stability, and several other things that really would help. I think a lot of people out there in the audience in managing their environment and having a more stable and more secure environment. I really want. I know you and I could probably talk about this for hours, but I know we're running out of time. I really want to thank you, Joabi, for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I love learning more about the vPro platform, and I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Absolutely. I feel the same, Joabi. Thank you so much.